Alrighty, so today's adventure is going to be installing a heatsink and a fan on this little guy because, well, the one that was on here didn't have a heatsink, it just had a fan, and this computer has an issue of shutting down. I'm almost certain it's a safety feature. It's just shutting down because the CPU is getting way too hot. So I will be attempting to install this. All right, now there was a fan that Kiko had bought before that. Now here's the thing. We sent it back because I was certain that it wasn't going to fit. But what my dumbass didn't realize is, please keep in mind this is a separate, whole entire separate item, okay? But what my dumbass did was I took the fan, right, and I placed it over the holes on the motherboard, thinking that, well, if it doesn't match up, it's not going to fit. When in reality, at least with this package, there's an actual little backing plate right here that actually does fit. So I'm wondering if maybe that other fan actually did have that, and I just didn't pay attention. But I know this one will fit because I did look this up specifically for this motherboard, and this is a fan that came up for that specific motherboard. So without further ado, enough talk, let's see what we do. All right, so disconnecting everything from this motherboard, basically just taking all these cords out, kind of recording everything as I do in case so I know where everything's supposed to plug back into, especially like, for example, these little guys. I thought this was one solid thing, but it's like 3 different separate shit. So the power LED one's here in the front, right there. And then the one behind it is hard disk drive one. And then the one, and I'm mainly taking this video just for self-reference, but I'm probably gonna throw it in the video. The one right there is in the front, and that is her hard disk drive LED switch, all right? Looks like the last thing to disconnect is going to be these guys back here. So let's do that real quick. And then this little guy. All right, before, after. All right, there was already a bunch of
potatoes. Oh my god, fucking potatoes.
Okay, I just got wet, literally. Here is the CPU that was covered in some thermal paste, and I wiped it all off because, as you can see, they gave me some more. So the only thing I have to do is to take this crazy ass heatsink and put that on, and then I do some other calibrations. All right, so I couldn't figure out why it said pay attention to the flow of the shits, but if you look, this one, I was like, there's supposed to be a hole here to put this heat sink on, and I couldn't figure out why, and then I turned the shit over after I took it off, and I was like, oh, I got it now. So I gotta flip this one over. Update. Man, fuck that computer. All right, y'all, I'm here at a place because Kiko wanted to ask about a job interview. If you guys, I don't know if I updated you, but I got home and I started reading my long-term fuel trims, and man, at idle they were at like 25 plus. It was crazy, and I got so worried last night. I sat around and looked up stuff all night, couldn't exactly figure out what the issue was, but right now, if I remember, I'll try to record it and show you, but right now they're running pretty clean here at idle. We're not even at operating temperature yet. We're at like 170 degrees coolant temp, but still it's looking a lot better. Yesterday I was like, bro, I'll put you like this, the negative long-term fuel trim was so negative to the point where I was so worried that maybe like I knocked a line somewhere, maybe I did something that fucked everything up. But it seems like right now it's back to normal, so it might take a drive cycle or two to have it normalized, but right now we're not having any issues. But I gotta go return this package. If you guys remember, I thought I bought the O-ring or the gasket, but instead it's a little like O-ring for like one of the valve covers. So I'm returning this, which is right here in the same plaza. So, and then I'm gonna go up to Advanced Auto Parts and try to ramp this little bad boy and kind of look underneath, see if I can find any sort of leaks or anything anywhere to figure out what the hell that one noise is I keep hearing. But she seems to be driving a little bit smoother today, can't really lie. I won't really know for like a week or two. You know, I feel like it's gonna take like a week or two for this thing to kind of like normalize out after installing the new plugs and spark and coils, I should say. But I'm not mad at it, so I will update y'all here in a bit. All right, an update. I went over here to the post office thingy real quick, and maybe had the car off for like not even 5 minutes, maybe like 3 minutes. Came back on. My numbers are back to like 13 and 7 now, negative on the long term. So I don't know if it's like a heat up issue, that once the car heats up we start having these fuel issues, or what it is. But obviously we got something going on with the fuel system here that I'm going to need to figure out. Now my next priority next month was going to be to do the brakes, but obviously with putting in new plugs and stuff, if I have a fuel issue, I don't want to mess up the new plugs or mess up anything else. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and just do the injectors next and handle that. I'm not going, I will be going aftermarket. Don't really care how anybody feels about it, to be honest. I've done my research, and you can get some okay aftermarket injectors. I'm gonna get a whole set of them instead of paying like 80 to like 100 something per injector. So that is the game plan. Alrighty, y'all. So the interview is over. I went to the wrong place at first. I went to a place called Grain and Berry, which I've never heard of. And I walked in there and I was like, this is the place? I don't really know, man. This food looks kind of whack. But I ended up going to the other place, the place I was supposed to go. Sounded pretty solid, man. The schedule's pretty set. It's going to be like 8 to 2 almost every day. Then I got like a 10-hour day on Friday. Then I get the weekends off. Pay is a little bit more than what I thought it was going to be, but I have a chance to make like $3 or $4 more after that, after like 30, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. So all in all, looking pretty good. I'll know by the end of tomorrow whether I got it or not. I'm almost certain I got it, guys, just because, like, again, some of these people, when they interview me, act like they've never sat across from somebody who can interview the way that I interview, because I don't know. I'm not nervous. I'm very confident. I'm very, like, just forthcoming. I'm not worried about whether they like me or not. I just say my piece and that's it. So I don't know. But I'm about to head back to the auto store, put this shit on some ramps, and we're going to take a look under to see if we can spot any leaks or just what the underside in general is looking like. All right, you see where I'm at, man. Technically at the shop. I call it the shop. It's where I do all my stuff. Went underneath the car. I have a leak somewhere. I have a good idea where it's generally at. I just don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my oil pan. I don't know what's going on now. It's not like super crazy, right? But there's definitely something going on. I'm probably gonna sit here for like a good hour or so, let this motherfucker cool down, and then try to go up in here and really see what I can find. It looks pretty centralized. I had a feeling I had a leak somewhere just because, like I said, I've looked under the car before and I've just seen tons of shit. It's nothing to the point where like I'm losing a crazy amount of oil, but definitely there is some seepage going on. So once the car cools down, I get back under there, I can kind of maybe touch some things without burning myself. Them catalytic converters are hot as shit under there right now. And hopefully we can get an idea of what's going on to see if this is something that I can handle myself, or if it's something I'm going to have to actually maybe take in and get handled. And that exhaust manifold and the catalytic converters, man, look old as shit, bro. Right about where I'm at and right about where that exhaust manifold is from the back over here is kind of where I've been hearing that noise. So once everything cools down, I'm going to touch some stuff and rattle some shit and see if I can figure out what that noise is as well. But yeah, man, not too excited about what I found, but better to find something and have an idea of what direction to go than to have no idea what the hell is going on. So there is our more recent little puddle, okay? Which means somewhere up in this motherfucker, up in here, up in there somewhere has got to be where that leak's coming from. So we're about to find out. Well, I'm almost certain that I found the problem. It's somewhere up in this motherfucker, bro. Somewhere up in there. I don't think it's up here. I think it's right in there, because that's where most of my concentration of shits is at. If I wipe this bitch, look at that. That's interesting. I don't know what the fuck we got going on here. I'm right there too. Look right there, man. You can see it. See it? I wonder if I got an oil pan leak somewhere. It's the only thing I can think of. Also, if you look here, there's some wetness up there too, man. See some of that? Like back in there. So I really don't know what the fuck's going on, bruh. Alright, y'all. Here's how we're looking underneath here, man. Look at all that shit. Is it time for a new fucking oil pan? I mean, look at that right up there, bro. Look at that. What the fuck? All right, y'all. So what I'm hoping is that I have a 15 millimeter bolt here, or socket. And what I'm gonna hope that all this is just that these bolts are loose. Otherwise, I might need an oil pan gasket, which just by looking at this, I can tell isn't gonna be fun. It's probably gonna involve a lot of shit. So I'm not sure. So what I kind of want to do right now is this a fucking, and that's a 14. Fuck. Almost certain I found the issue, guys. So if you look right here, you see this big thick black hose? Pause. See that big thick hose right there? Coming down to here? Look right there. I think that might be my problem. I'm not really sure, but the amount of oil on that is crazy. So I don't know what the hell exactly what part that is. But I feel like that's where my issue is coming from. Especially considering that. But then right here we got all this blowback too, so I don't really know, man. Ooh. This might be one of those things that's gonna take me a whole day to figure out, because I'm gonna have to get in here. I really feel like this is it though, man. It's seeping. If I could, I'd get my hand up in there and try to really like look at that. See what I'm saying? So I need to figure out tonight exactly what this line is, because this obviously needs to be replaced. Hey, look at this, man. I got transported to a Dollar General. Isn't that cool, man? Isn't that cool? So I went into AutoZone to ask them people. I said, hey, like, what's going on with the stuff? And they were like, hey, hold on. They're listen, don't go to AutoZone. Don't go to any auto store for any advice, okay? They don't know what the hell they're doing, all right? I still don't know what the issue is. I'm hoping that I can figure it out soon. But make sure y'all go to Winn-Dixie and get yourself a chicken sandwich. All right, guys. So I just realized I didn't do an outro to this video. So I'm going to, when I get done editing this video, I'm going to check to see if it might be the power steering. Like I said, I don't know if you all saw that when it came across the screen, but that tube has some sort of black shit coming out of it. It doesn't look like a gas line, because those are usually metal and made out of metal. And it's definitely not an oil line, because why the hell would an oil line be that thick? The only thing I can think of, like I said before, is power steering. And maybe like a week or so ago, I happened to just for shits and giggles check the power steering, and it did seem like it was a little low. Now, I'm not having any steering issues or anything like that, but seeing as how that stuff didn't really smell like oil or gasoline, and it was as black as it is, kind of makes me think that it is power steering. But I do also think that I have an oil leak somewhere as well too. So I don't know if any of y'all have any ideas what that is or could be, or if you have any idea what that line was I showed you, that with that little metal thing that when I touched it, I got all that shit on it. If you have any idea what that is, please let me know down below in the comments. As always, I love and appreciate all you guys. We're like 2 subs away from 100 subs. Let's see if we can make that happen by the end of this week. Like, sub, share.